How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? VuduVince here, and do a little update. Hadn't done any videos in a little bit, and it's actually because my rudder pedals have broken, and I can't do a lot of flying without my rudder pedals. About 3 o'clock in the morning, I was getting into a dogfight. I was in a hurricane with it, and I was fighting a Nicky, and I went to stomp the pedals to make a shot, and all of a sudden I noticed no inputs. So then I was in the middle of a fight with a P-38 and a Nicky at 3 o'clock in the morning, and trying to figure out what was going on with my pedals. And what ended up happening was that when I have my pedals set up, they're against the wall and I've smashed the cord, so I've got to get into there and see if I can get that fixed. But in other news, I've finally popped back onto the boards because obviously I've been kind of down and out about HTCs because the population has dropped off. I thought that they did a poor job with the handling of the Steam. And so apparently they have been up to something, but they've been very, very quiet about it. And so today I noticed that there was a post from High Tech saying what we've been up to. War Online Pacific, basically a match play and tournament arena with earned or purchased war cash for different planes, online only with no arena selection. Let the flames begin, beta coming soon. So I clicked on the website. Took us over to a little website here, War Online Pacific, with some little clips that we've seen before. The F4F taken off from a carrier. I think there's a couple of little clips, and this is from the 4th of December, so this is not too long ago. Kind of see what else is going on in here. Real basic little website, but it's not ready yet. So then, as I continue to scroll through here, someone said, hey, it's on Steam. So I jumped over to Steam, and lo and behold, it is. So part of the questions that were asked by one of the guys in here is, will this, so many questions popped in my head, will this replace the current AH? No. If this is a new arena with the current game, what would we expect to be populated? It does not interact with the old game, except for account names. Not sure about game IDs yet. What will most likely happen to the old multiplayer arena? Most likely to change back to the dueling arena. They have one that's like a match play. But that's what match play arena. How's it going to be marketed? Steam, Oculus, and Epic Games. So it's going to go through all three because this one is really epitomized. And this is where they've been going with this VR controlled deal. They're trying to get ahead of the market kind of on this VR thing, which I don't blame them. But as far as Aces High is concerned, I don't know. Maybe this is to help prop up that. Who knows? We don't really know. Same graphics and controls. Controls, yes. Interface looks different. So it looks like we'll be able to play it the same as we would with Aces High, with our standard stick and controls. But when we go to Steam, it talks about in-app purchases, partial controller support, and that input is track motion devices, motion controllers, and keyboard mouse. So hopefully we would continue to be able to use our throttle and joystick. I'm gonna ask that here in the forums just to check and make sure. And if it is, then it seems like it might be a very interesting deal that's going to take the cool parts about Aces High, bring in a free-to-play aspect to it, and draw in some new blood that's not immediately going to get pounced on and destroyed by the old hats. I would hope that the flight model is going to be the same. I'm going to assume that it is. And yet, we're just going to have to see how this kind of turns out and how it ends up being. One of my biggest deals is that I don't want to use the touch controllers. I would run and fly with regular controls because that's what I bought them for. I like that aspect. I like the aspect of being in a more realistic setting to where I've got controls and then I can look around and actually do what I want to do. So we're going to have to see exactly how it turns out, but we can see kind of a rough idea of what's kind of going on here. Battle free for all, war cash earned, last sortie, none. So you go out almost kind of like the perk points, and you go out and you get into these dogfights and stuff. So kind of a match play main arena type thing. We'll have to kind of see how it turns out. This says available December 2018. High-Tech's talking about January, which usually that's kind of how they jump things with it. It's like, poof, here it is. We've been working on it all this time. We haven't let you know about it at all, and now here it is. So let's see here. Interface is different, not a problem. I think he popped in one time. Someone said January, I want to say. Talked about what the credit was going to be cost. You can pause that and look at what was actually said there. I said, I'm glad to see this, and we'll give it a fair shot. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to go in and also post that I'd like to know we're going to be able to use full controllers. He said controls, yes. So I assume that it's going to go ahead and feed the same way, which would be great, because I like Aces High, but I want more engagements, and I think that this would be a good way. That would be a free-to-play system that people can actually pop in and do that, old and new players alike, and get a instant combat type thing. We'll see how it kind of turns out. It may be exactly what people are wanting, but it may not be. You never know. I think it'll definitely be interesting with High-Tech's, what I would consider an advanced flight model, which is a pretty serious flight model, with the touch controllers in a seated position to where you can just pretty much grab hold of stuff and move around. I think it'll be kind of nifty for a person that just has the touch. You've bought the Oculus. You've paid $400 for this program. Now you can play in this game, which is a fairly realistic flight sim-ish. You know, it's obviously we don't have to control oil coolers and do all that kind of stuff. But as far as the flight model is concerned, and the gunfighting and all that kind of stuff, it's pretty nice compared to other games of its genre. So essentially what it does is if you bought an Oculus or you bought a VR system, you can fly this game. You don't need to spend another $300 on flight controls. But if it, obviously, what he's saying is controls, yes, so I'm assuming that he's going to allow standard controls to work, because why wouldn't you? You wouldn't want a guy that has a joystick and everything to have a game that you would completely eliminate. I personally wouldn't want to play with the touch controllers. Maybe it'd be interesting, but the part of the problem is that, for me, is that I move my controls too quickly. So I'm thinking, there's no limit, there's no stop. So if I go to move my control to the right, roll right, I'm going to move until I decide to stop myself. Well, if I glitch it out or something, or it goes out wonky or gets past the sensor, what happens? How do I have to have my sensor set? So I think it'll be some tweaking. I'm gonna play with both and get it, kind of see how it works. But primarily I'm gonna play it with the regular joystick and see kind of how it works out. But Steam Power here says release January 7th, 2019. Here we're seeing December 2018. Here we go. January 7th, 2019. So, hopefully we'll get a beta coming out pretty quickly and be able to do a little bit of footage of that. Obviously, from what we can see here, this is pretty standard stuff. Got a D3A cockpit here. FM2 again. KI61. That's going to be the SBD. And we're back at an external to the D3A again. And then again, what we've got is just the clip that they used before, talking about the FM2. And that was because they were using it for this. That's why they made this little nice video. Which is still nice. I mean, Grebo did excellent work on the skin there. The FM2 coming in and attacking, doing some different stuff. And it looks nice. So they, multi-purpose video there. And then all of a sudden they toss in this War Online Pacific. We'll see how it works out. Hopefully we can generate a little bit of stuff for it. I don't know. We'll kind of see how it goes. But this is a little update. See what you think in the comments below. Jump on the forums. Hit it up. See kind of what you think. And, in the deal is this is actually looks to be free to play. For real, free to play. So, we'll see what happens. It ought to be interesting, so. Comments below. If you like this video, give it a like. If you don't, thumbs down. Comment in the bottom, see what you think. We'll kind of see what's going on. I'm going to either get my rudder pedals fixed or I'm going to replace them probably after the first of the year. I've been real heavy in World of Warships. Probably going to start doing some kind of teaching and things for that, but flight sims are my calling. I do like flight sims, so we'll just kind of have to see how it kind of works out. But I'm still here, still working, and I'll catch y'all next time.